Guys, shooting archery is so fun, and I'm really excited for you to take that step, take that leap and get into archery. But let's not forget how important safety is to shooting archery. In fact, it is the most important thing, and we need to focus on that today. All right, guys, with safety, we're gonna go over a couple important topics here I just wanna make sure we talk about. Number one, proper equipment. Make sure you have the product that fits you. You went to your pro shop or understand that your stuff needs to fit you and fit you perfectly. It's very important because you don't want any errors when shooting the bow. You don't want it too long or too short. Make sure everything is set to fit you. Number two, know your surroundings at all times. Make sure no one's outside of the range where you want to shoot. Make sure you have a safe environment to shoot your bow. Definitely consider a range or somewhere where you have a very open space. Shooting with both eyes open is the best way to do it. If you really can't, then you can't, but you really need to understand your surroundings at all times. For instance, just do this to see how much you're actually losing in your viewing. When you shoot with both eyes open, you can still see out of the corner of your eye what's going on to your right, but you're also seeing where you need to be down here. Depending on what eye dominant you are, it affects how much you're actually going to see. So in order to figure that out, you can literally make a triangle, stand far away from that triangle, stare at the triangle and bring it back to wherever it fits right. And it will land on your eye that you are dominant. So for me, it's my right eye. Again, as we talked about understanding, where you're at, what you're seeing, try to keep both eyes open if possible and really focus on the pin. Your main eye will look at that pin. It's very important. Always practice safety when using a bow. Never point it in the direction of a person. Never draw back when there's a person around. Definitely do not draw a bow if someone's out in the field. Don't do that at all. That is unsafe and not smart to do. Do not do anything like that. Very dangerous. Remember, a bow is a weapon and it can hurt you, so be very careful and mindful how you're pointing or using an archery bow. Make sure you're using the correct arrow. Make sure you go to like Easton's website, check the calculator based on the information they're asking you to make sure you're using the right spine. The last thing you want is the arrow to shatter from the power, too much power of your bow, or vice versa. Maybe it's too heavy for the bow. So just make sure you're shooting the right spine of arrow. It's very, very important. Never dry fire a bow. This is very important. So a bow should never be fired without an arrow inside of it. That arrow pushes weight against the string that keeps everything together. Without it, the string goes ballistic and everything shakes too much and it's too much power and it can break the bow, causing catastrophic explosion of the bow or injury to you or people around you because the pieces will fly all different directions. So you never, ever, ever, never dry fire any bow. Make sure you're always inspecting your equipment. Make sure you don't see no cracks or breaks or anything. Just double check it, here and there. Make sure everything looks good to you. Very important to look for stress cracks or anything like that in your limbs or your arrows or your riser as well. So definitely check all that on a normal basis. Make sure you observe rules and etiquette at ranges when you go to them. Make sure you listen to the instructions and read the instructions on how to use the range and understand the calls. You're gonna hear terms such as clear and different terms like that at ranges, so make sure you understand the etiquette and are following that to a T because it's very, very important for safety for everybody. Be mindful of loose clothing. You don't want loose clothing when you're shooting your bow. Make sure you don't have any ties coming down and it can get whipped in there. One time I had that happen. A branch came in a crossbow and it fired and it hit me across the face and it hurt really bad. So you got to be very mindful of what's around you when you're shooting your bow. Make sure there's no branches coming in, especially while you're bow hunting, because that can happen when you're in trees. So be very careful and mindful of that. Never drink or use drugs while you're using an archery bow. It can be very dangerous. You need your full mindset when you're shooting and focusing on that target. So be mindful and protect yourself, protect the people around you as well when you're trying to have fun shooting some archery. And that's it, guys. I hope you had a good time learning about these safety tips. Just remember that safety should always be your top priority when practicing archery. It's very, very important that everybody feels safe around you and you feel safe as well when you're shooting your bow. All right, guys, that's it. On to the next video.